下一位给我们致贺词的是来自美国的朋友，是一个人权活动家，也是长期关注中国人权，同时也是长期关注 Burma， 就是缅甸的人权的一位人权活动家。缅甸现在已经实现初步民主，安邦书记和他的这个同仁已当上总统。缅甸的大多数席位是民主联盟，就是这位这个我即将要介绍的这位朋友，他们长期的支持下，他们取得了胜利，达成了他们的目标。缅甸的朋友，我也认识的缅甸的学生领袖，现在基本上都回去了，就去年，所以他们有的人都去当议员了。所以现在我们只能请一个支持缅甸的一个人权这个组织的这个负责人来给我们说两句话。有请 Jeremy。Jeremy 是一位真正的行动家，就是说他一直是街头行动派。他也是一位著名的这个电视制作人和电影制片人，做过很多。
Good morning. You know, a lot of times I criticize the Communist Party of China, and then everyone says, "Oh, you're anti-China. You're anti-China." Not at all. I love China. You know, me and the other white guy out there, the round guy out there, we're the ones that helped Bei Chao get his book deal. That's because we love Chinese people. You know, the government, boo hao. Jiang Guo Jiang Fu, boo hao. And it's just because they're anti-democracy. I'm not even saying it's personally, it's the philosophy. It's the Communist Party of China's anti-democracy philosophy. That's the problem. China's anti-democratic dictators. That's the problem. China's anti-human rights regime. That's the problem. China's anti-freedom. There's no free speech, no free press, no free assembly, no independent unions in China, no free thought, no reproduction freedom, no artistic freedom, no academic freedom, no internet freedom. That's the problem, because the Chinese regime is the enemy of universal values. Chinese regime is the enemy of the United Nations founding principles. I'm not saying China, I'm saying the Communist Party of China is a threat to the United Nations core values. That's the problem. You know, there's so much to talk about, whether it's the Chinese regime's persecution, murder of Falun Gong, or their crusade against Christianity. With all due respect, Jinping Xi should be a persona non grata to the United States because he's the enemy of Christianity. Because there's no religious freedom in China. That's the problem. You're beautiful people. It's the government that's a threat to everything that's good on earth. Jiang Fu's a threat to democracy in Venezuela. Look at what's happening. Venezuela's democracy being destabilized by the Chinese regime. Cambodia's democracy being undermined by the Chinese regime because of Jinping Xi, the enemy of universal values. You know, so you're all beautiful. I'm not anti-China. I'm just against. I have a hatred. I got a good buddy, Chinese guy. To be honest with you, he's FG. I'm not Falun Gong. I'm not an FG practitioner. They're still good people. They don't deserve to have their organs harvested from them. Chinese regime getting rich off of Chinese non-consenting Falun Gong practitioners' organs. There's no other government on earth that steals people's organs. Just China. Christianity, Christians persecuted, tearing down church crosses from the top of the bulldozing churches. Who bulldozes churches? There's no other country on earth, just the CPC. And it's not just Christians and Falun Gong and human rights lawyers and journalists, bloggers. The list goes. I could be here with you for days talking about the Chinese government injustice. There's no justice in China. There's no rule of law in China. Chinese regime, the enemy of rule of law everywhere. Chinese regime undermine democracies everywhere. To be honest with you, Chinese regime shouldn't be in the United Nations. China should be kicked out of the United Nations. China shouldn't be on the UN's Human Rights Council? Are you kidding me? I mean, talk about the fox being in charge of the hen house. Anyway, like I said, you know, Bei Chao, before he was talking about Tibet, you know, the Tibetans don't want to be ruled by the CPC. Uyghurs don't want to be ruled by the CPC. Mongolian, dude, Chinese people don't want to be ruled by the CPC. No one with half a common sense wants independent thought. They don't even allow you to have independent thought. No freedom of thought, no freedom of travel, no freedom of movement. Like I said, I could keep. It's just such a long list of Chinese injustices. Whether we talk about Taiwan, Hong Kong, Chinese regime, they say, you know, peaceful rise. That's a lie. Peaceful rise, ask India, who has their land stolen from them by the Chinese regime. The Uyghurs have their land stolen from the Chinese regime. The Spratly Islands in the South China Sea. The Filipinos, they can't even fish in their traditional fishing grounds because the CPC won't let them. The CPC ruins the lives, not just Chinese people, ruins the lives of Tibetans, ruins the lives of Uyghurs, ruins the lives of Mongolians, ruins the lives of Filipino fishermen, ruin the lives of Vietnamese fishermen. Dude, they ruin the lives of African peoples. They steal Africa's fish. I mean, like I could say, I can go on all day. I wish I could. I'd just talk to you all day long and tell you how bad the CPC is. Evil to the core. Make no mistake about it. And to be honest with you, it's not them personally. Dude, when you grow up into the young pioneers, you get brainwashed. When you grow up in the Communist Youth League, you get brainwashed. That's why Chinese parents, smart, send their kids here to study. No one wants to learn about nonsense, how great and glorious the party is. Party ain't great. Party ain't glorious. Party ain't correct. Party's bad to the bone. Party's rotten to the core. Anyway, you have a lot more people up here or here that are way more knowledgeable than me. I just say we need, for the sake of democracy worldwide, we need regime change in China. For the sake of universal values worldwide, we need regime change in China. Everyone's talking now about regime change in North Korea. Come on, small potatoes. Kim Jong-un, chump change compared to the Communist Party of China. Anyway, like I could said, whether it's Chinese regime trade violations, it's amazing how it's just one violation after the next. Chinese regime violates World Trade Organization. Chinese regime violates World Health Organization. Chinese regime violates United Nations Law of the Sea. It's just a long list. It'd take me a week to tell you all of the Chinese regime's violations. and a threat to everybody and everything on earth. Anyway, I'll shut up. Thank you for your time. God bless you.
我用最简单的语言来给他翻译几句啊，因为他其实讲得很精诚。他就是说中国，他很爱中国人民，不